afternoon, everybody. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. Remember, we're creating the life we've always wanted. I am here. You're here. But my job and my goal is to make sure that you are having the successes in your health just like you're having in the other areas of your life. You don't need superhuman strength. What you need is a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow, and the support and the determination to show up every single time so you can be there consistently for the important events and important people in your life. But here we are in another week's fast, in another week of, hey, we're going to be healthy. And I welcome you, whatever platform you're joining us from, whatever area you are in, whatever city, town, village, whatever country you're here from. Thank you for joining me. And then a special shout out always to our accelerator members, our community members that are out there. Thank you for coming and joining. I am starting the fast. We're starting the fast right now. As you know, we start a fast once a week right after my meeting with my team. That's what we do. And so I'm glad to be here to begin that with you. What I love about this space is that it is community oriented. Fasting is a tool that we're using. And you know, just like anything else, when you have some people who are doing it with you, when you have opportunity to ask questions, have an opportunity to hang out and just get into the meat of the stuff, it works better. And so for you, if you're here right now, thank you for coming through. Thank you for making the decision that you're going to be healthy. And thank you for being in the community. Well, right off to my side, I've got what I'm going to eat for the last meal before I get into the fast. So we'll show that here in just a minute. But as we are moving through this week, remember our flagship show, Dwain Woode MD Live, we last night talked about protein and the role that protein plays in our lives, recognizing that there are some things that happen in our bodies, the things that are making us feel as though we're tired, we're fatigued. We may have excessive weight gain, or we're plateaued, or any of those types of things, and we want to recognize what the body is telling us. So that was our flagship show, Dwain Woode MD Live, where we did the Wood Life Design Lab. Last week was our Foundations episode that correlated with that. So if you've not done so yet, go back and watch the Foundations episode. It was about 8 or 9 minutes, so something that's easy for you to watch through. And then come back and watch the lab portion of Dwain Woode MD Live that we did last night. The next Foundation episode is coming out tomorrow, and that will set the stage for what we're going to be discussing next week on our live show. So that's the routine, that's the plan, that's the flow that we have, and just make sure you get in there. If you are one of the members of our community, and when I say community, I'm talking about a community and wide, our large community right now. Anyone out there that's been following, anyone that's been interested, if you are fasting this week, I want you to put me in the comments, because I want to give you a shout out, just to say hello and thank you for coming through and being here with us. Now, a couple of things, right? So, and I'm going to change around a little bit because I just celebrated a birthday. And so my team right now just had we did a little mini celebration here in the office. And you guys have heard me talk about Cadbury chocolate, right? That's my thing. But what you don't know is that if I'm going to eat cake, my favorite cake is actually carrot cake. So let me move this off to the side. Actually, let me do that first. I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat, right? So you can see that I do have some stuff here, but I'm going to have some of this. I'm going to have some of this cake. So let's do that really quickly. So here it is. And so here's my salad. And so it's a Caesar salad. And I think this came from one of our local places here. And what they did was they substituted meatballs into this. I need to change that because, you know, something different. So I've got meatballs here. I've got a salad. So we'll adjust that off to this side. These are pot stickers. All right, so that's what came in. And so we're going to adjust what we do with this because, and here's a big component that I want you to get from this. Let me come back to this one. as we're talking about food, as we're talking about eating, as we're talking about this process that we're in, one of the things that I get from a lot of people is that they get frustrated, they get anxious, they get worried, they become afraid when there are special occasions. What are those? We're talking about things like birthdays, anniversaries. We're talking about Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, family reunions, all of those places where food tends to be a big portion of what we do, right? So think about it. All those things that I just named, there's a lot of food involved. And so when people are approaching those, they become anxious and nervous, particularly if they've been having some success in their health journey. Because what they're afraid of is that they're going to basically get off track, they're going to fall off the wagon. And the idea is that if I fall off, then it's going to be permanent and it's going to be something that is going to derail me. And so people get worried. And so what I want to talk a little bit about is this idea that our health, our plans, the things that we do, has to have built into it some flexibility. I'm going to pause because I want that to sink in. There has to be some flexibility in the things that we do. There are times when you are going to, like I'm going to show you here right now. As a matter of fact, let me do that. I'm going to move this off to the side. And I'm going to pull this over here so you guys can get to see. And here it is. All right, so here is my, let's do this one. All right, so here's a piece of carrot cake. See, I move it closer to you. Okay, there we go. All right, it's a piece of carrot cake, okay? And it looks good, doesn't it? And so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have a piece of carrot cake because it's my birthday. They just did a celebration. I'm gonna enjoy this carrot cake. Now, why am I telling you this? Because as you are moving through your health space, the health space is not a set of rigid rules that chastise you for not being on track. Your health space, your health journey has to have built into it flexibility that allows life to happen. And notice, and when I say life happening, sometimes it almost sounds as though we're saying that the things that are going on, and let me make sure, so can you guys hear me? Yeah, there you go. It's almost like we think that birthdays are not life. Anniversaries are not life. Thanksgiving and Christmas are not life. And so we said, when I get back from my vacation, I'm going to get back to normal. When Christmas is over, I'm going to get back to normal. Do you know that there are people who don't come to see me in January or February, right after the holidays, because they're afraid that their numbers are going to be crazy, their weight's going to be up, their blood sugar's going to be out of control, and they want to get back to normal before they come see me, before they have labs. And my push to everyone who's watching, anyone who's on this health journey, is this. Just like fasting is a tool, your journey is a process. The journey has to involve some flexibility. So what are we going to do flexible right now? Guess what? Here you go. Let's see. Let's do this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get a piece of this cake. So happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Dwayne. Okay, let's do this one. That's a better view. Okay, there we go. Carrot cake. It's delicious, y'all. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have another piece. How about some of this right here? Doesn't it look good? All right. So that's my birthday. That's my birthday cake. So let's get to our meal, our last meal that we're going to have here as we get into the fast. So once again, if you're fasting, go ahead and drop a me in the comments. Go ahead and drop me. I'm fasting. I'm fasting. I'm fasting this week. Okay? All right. And so let's get this off of the. Should I have another piece? How about that? Get rid of some of the icing. Icing. How about right there? Okay. So here's my last meal. It's a salad, and I'm going to get rid of the croutons. Now, it's not that I don't like croutons, but the croutons have a lot of carbs, and I just had some carbs. And so I made a decision that the carbs I would prefer having are the carbs from that birthday cake I just ate. Right? All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. No, I do want to do, let me do one thing here really quickly. I'm going to get rid of this camera for a minute. We'll see how this works. Because I do want you to see my blood sugar. And right now I'm using that camera to show you this. So I need to make an adjustment here really quickly. So let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and take these off. And while I talk, I'm going to change views for a minute. Okay, here we are. All right, and then I need to get this off because I want you to see my my monitors. So I want to get rid of that. So let's talk a little bit about fasting. So fasting, as you know, is a tool. Fasting is an amazing tool. Fasting is not the only tool, y'all, but it is a fascinating way for us to actually get our metabolism set in the right direction. Right? Get the metabolism, and we're writing the metabolism. That's the whole idea. So let me go ahead and do this. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is my Dexcom, not my Dexcom. This is my Freestyle Libre, and it's a Libre 3 Plus. And you see right now my blood sugar is 91. If I look at this graph, you see that early this morning we started at 119, we dropped down, and this has been what the course of the day has looked like, okay? Up until where we are right about now. Now, it'll be interesting to see as we go through the rest of the afternoon what those numbers are, since I just ate this birthday cake, okay? So we'll talk about that another time. Looking at my daily graphs, not my daily, but my reports, time in range, for the last 90 days, 95%, you'll see 5% lows. And those are lows because when I fast, my blood sugar goes low, which is once again to be expected. Getting out of that, going to average blood sugar, you'll see right here that my average blood sugar right about there, okay, is 97. So 97 is what it is for the last 90 days. And I love looking at the 90-day because that's where my A1C comes from. The average over the last 90 days. And then let's switch over and let's take a look at what's my Dexcom is showing. And right now the Dexcom is showing 116. Similarly, we can take my finger and I could run it across the app and you'll see. And so all these numbers are about 20 to 30 points higher than what they were with the Libre. And then looking here over the last 90 days, you'll see that my average blood sugar 122, and then my glucose management indicator is a 6.2. Okay, so those are what those numbers look like right now. So I wanted you to see that because as we move into the future, into the week, right, in the fast, those numbers will change because guess what? we just ate some stuff that is going to cause blood sugars to change a little bit. All right, and then let's see. I thought I saw, let me see if I can do this. See some of our community members out there, and I have to find where to bring those up. There it is. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get back over here. And let's get over to our community members. I see some of you out there, so let's do that right now. And I thought I just saw that just a minute ago. Okay, guys, just hang on for a minute. Now, one of the things that we've not done recently is do our check-in. So I think I'm going to do that when we talk tomorrow. All right, so here we are. So I do see Jennifer out there. So Jennifer, hi, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. I see Jennifer, thank you. And I see Cornelia saying hello. It's not showing up very nicely, but that's okay. Hi, Jennifer from Cornelia. Cornelia says me, so she's fasting. And then Jennifer saying hi to Cornelia. Thank you guys for being out there. Okay? All right, so let's go back and, oh, you know what? I was doing that, but you guys weren't seeing it. But let's go back and let's take a look at our food that we're eating. Because I've got to change my camera back. All right, here we go. And let's see. Yeah, so I had to change that because I wanted you guys to see what my blood sugars were, but I was using that to show the food. So let's go back and let's make sure we can see food now. Okay, there we go. So that's, yeah. All right, so here we are, and I'm just going to take a few bites, and then I'll let you guys go, and I'll finish this off offline. Oh, I still see some croutons in there, so let's get rid of those. You know what? This is good. And that's just the dressing. All right. Get rid of those croutons. Excuse me. A little bit of tartness. All right. Let's grab my meatball. That is good. So let me tell you, if you're ever taking me to dinner, all right, then get me a ribeye, medium well. Get me a Caesar salad. Sometimes I'll do like a wedge salad with blue cheese, but Caesar is my thing. And get me a diet, not a diet, but a zero sugar something. Not diet, because diet has sugar in it. And you don't usually get dessert, but if we're gonna get dessert, get me carrot cake or cheesecake. This is a good salad. All right, so balanced bites. What is balanced bites? Balanced bites is our concept of food. It's not a diet. It is not a list of foods that you can or can't eat. It is a way of thinking about food. And Balanced Bites says that we want to look at whole foods first. We want to look at minimized processing, no added sugar, lean protein, healthy fats, starchy and non-starchy vegetables, leaning more towards the non-starchy vegetables. We want it to be tasty and flavorful, and we want it to have appropriate portion sizes. Okay, so that's the whole idea behind Balanced Bites. So as you're thinking about your meal, that's what you want to be looking for. Let's change over to this. Let's make me bigger. Put the food down to the side. There we go. Oh, the other one. Okay? So as you're thinking about your food, that's the way you should be thinking. Now, this is not, oh, I'm only thinking about this when I'm fasting. Your food choices should generally fall into balanced bites. That is the thought process that you should have, so that when you have those occasions when you're having birthday cake, you're having anniversary cake, it's a holiday, you're still thinking balanced bites. Notice the choice I made for my salad. I took the croutons off because I know I was going to have some cake. Now, I would have taken the croutons off anyway, because that's just my thought of how I eat. If we go to a restaurant, I usually take the croutons off. Actually, except there's one restaurant I go and I leave the croutons on. But most other places, it's gone. So if you're fasting, go ahead, and that's a crouton right there, and let us know what it is that you are eating as your last meal. What are you eating as your last meal? All right. So that's it. We're eating. So flexibility. Flexibility is a major component of your health plan. It has to be. Otherwise, it sets you up for failure. It sets you up for a kind of rigidness that you can't maintain. And if you maintain it for long enough, your brain, your mind, your body, everything is going to rebel. And sometimes that rigidity is what can sometimes cause other health issues down the road, because there's this constant feeling of stress that comes because we're so tight in our regimen. Now, I'm going to hasten to say, this is not by no means meant to say just go hog wild and just eat whatever you want. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, within your health plan, there has to be a component built in that allows some flexibility. Okay? All right. And the same thing with fasting. Fasting has to be flexible. You guys have seen, I've done 72-hour fast, I've done 48-hour fast, I've done 24-hour fast, I've broken the fast, I've done 96. We did a 106-hour fast one week. So it has to be flexible. So it is a tool to be used in the way that is required at the time. Well, thank you for being here, y'all. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. I look forward to seeing you as we continue the rest of this week. Remember, Dwain Woode MD Live is next Monday at 7 p.m. Central right here on the channel. We've got This Week in Review that's coming up on Sunday. Video from the Vault that's coming up on Saturday night at 9 p.m. And then we'll be back here tomorrow as we talk about being 24 hours into this week's fast. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here with us. We will see you when we see you in the community, and we'll see you in this space. So let's go ahead and let's go right here. Bye-bye, everybody.